A Real Pain, directed and written by Jesse Eisenberg. I think it's his directorial debut. Don't quote me on that though. Maybe also his writing debut, but don't quote me on that because I might be wrong. I'm a bit more sure about the directing part, but not that sure about the writing part, but probably both are wrong. So as I said, don't quote me on that. I have to say I really liked the movie. It felt very real. The way the dialogue was handled. The characters felt like actual people. The dialogue you saw like sometimes got a bit real. I saw some conflict, some things that might actually happen in real life. How the film was filmed, the cinematography. I didn't think about the cinematography at all until like halfway through, and I was like, damn, okay. It's not very meticulous cinematography that does things that you're like, whoa, I've never seen this or that. It's very purposeful and direct. Like it just shows you what you need to see, and that's it. Which I think for a movie like this is completely fine, and maybe actually even better. I liked it. And the same with like the music. It felt very like suitable to the movie. They kept playing one song. I might be wrong, but I think it's like Beethoven's, I forgot the name of the song, but I think it's Beethoven, and they kept like repeating that song, which is, I don't know, like kind of like a good anchor point to like almost get you back from like a scene. And I have to say like the characters, like the two main characters, one played by Jesse Eisenberg, so he played a role in the movie, he wrote the movie, and he directed the movie, so pretty good stuff. And then the brother, like the brother to Jesse Eisenberg's character, was played by Kieran Culkin, which was like a polar opposite to Jesse Eisenberg's character, and I really liked their interactions with each other. Overall, I really liked the movie. I have to say, it does get like a bit deeper from time to time, but it doesn't like cut you in the flesh kind of deep. It only like kind of scratches, if that makes sense. It shows you real stuff, but it never like, at some point they like kind of get into it, but it's, if you think about the subject matter, which was the Holocaust, I went to Poland and saw some concentration camps. And for that subject matter, it felt like a pretty light movie. More of the characters and the dialogue between them was more of a like main point instead of the subject matter of the places they went to, which is kind of funny because one of the characters critiqued that and said, oh, we're going here eating posh food, going first class and whatnot, while we're witnessing like what happened, the suffering of the people. But also the movie kind of felt like that. It was like very subsurface level of showing that subject matter, you know what I mean? Maybe I'm overthinking it, but that's just like kind of what it came across to, like for me. Also, like one point that I really liked in the movie, when they went to the concentration camp, it did get a bit real for a moment, and they even like turned down the music completely. Like there was no music at all, almost no sound, like just realistic sound, like birds and stuff like that. So I thought that was like a really good way to show how real that situation was and really let you reflect on the things that were like showing you and almost made you feel like you were there, like witnessing with the characters. It also allowed you to witness it more of the perspective of the characters, because you didn't hear anything else they weren't hearing, like everything they were seeing, you were seeing and you were hearing, right? So I thought that was really nice. One thing I also really liked about the movie is that it, oh, if you're wondering why I'm like walking this, really is because it's full of ice. But one thing I also really liked about the movie is that, maybe slight spoilers, like nothing crazy, just like what happens, but if you're like really sensitive to spoilers, it ended how it started. Kieran Culkin's character like spent like his time again in the airport. How it started, you almost get like a similar shot as in the beginning. You get a very similar line to the beginning. I think it's actually the exact same line as he said in the beginning. Oh, you meet crazy people here. It's really nice and or something like that. Which I thought like was also kind of a reflection of their characters, because you see Jesse Eisenberg's character going to his family, to his kid, to his wife, moving on with his life, doing his things, and Kieran Culkin's character just kind of like being stuck in the past or like in the moment, not moving on, just being there and not really progressing. So I thought that was like a really good way of showing the characters' feelings, or like, I don't know what's the word for it, kind of like handling of life, you know. And one small tidbit that I also really liked was when they like put stones on one of the graves. The one that Jesse Eisenberg put on the grave, on the stone, what's the word for it? I know there's a certain word for like the stone grave. I'm just gonna call it stone grave for now. But the rock Jesse Eisenberg put on the stone grave was the smallest one, which is like kind of a reflection of his character in the movie. He's kind of, the way he holds himself is kind of small, doesn't have the presence that his brother has, which he also mentions in the movie that he wish he had that. And so I thought that was like really good way of showing it. I don't know if it was done on purpose, but probably was. So I'm glad I catch that. And yeah, overall, I liked it. I think if it is his first movie, like he did a really good job with it. Kieran Culkin, almost as always, like what I've seen from him recently. So I haven't seen too much. I've just heard people talk about things he was in, but I haven't watched too much of it, which I really need to get behind and watch some of his stuff. But yeah, I recommend the movie. I recommend this theater.